In time and work, we know that, right? We already saw the concept in your college, in your training period as well. So in this concept, what we are going to do is, we are going to recall some concepts and then we will solve some questions related to the concept as well. Okay. So I hope everyone know what are the concept in this. I hope everyone know what are the concept in the time and work, right? So the first concept is nothing but that is working with different efficiency. Working with different efficiency. So I hope everyone know about this concept, right? So this means we know that. So every people having a different perception, right? At the same time, every people having a different perception. At the same time, every people having a different efficiency to do their work. So here the thing is, what we are going to discuss is, in this concept we will calculate. We will use two method of things. That is, one method is nothing but that is fraction method. And the another method is nothing but that is called as LCM method, or we will call that as a chocolate method to solve the questions. So these two methods will use in the working with different efficiency concept, right? So what the next thing that we will do is, the second concept is nothing but the second concept of this time and work is nothing but pipes and system. This also you saw in your training period, I hope. So the pipe and system will calculate the liters, how many liters that system will take. So the how many liters that system will take to cover the entire system, and how long they will take to cover the system. So these type of question we will solve in this time and work, right? So the next thing you guys will solve, that is man days. We are just recalling the concepts and then we will go with the one by one questions. Okay. Next concept is nothing but that is division of wages. I hope everyone know about it. So we have to divide the wages according to the people's efficiency and according to the people's complete their work. So this is how we will solve the questions. Okay. So in time and work, it is a revival session. In this revival session, we will solve some questions that is related to the working with different efficiency, and in pipes and system, and man days, and the last one is division of wages. I hope everyone ready for this one. Please take note and pen. It will be helpful for you to solve the question. If I'm not audible, please let me know in the comment section. Okay. I will show the question one by one. For each question, I will give you 2 minutes of time. After 2 minutes of time, I hope everyone put answers in the comment box, and then I will explain the question. Okay. So we'll go with medium level and then hard level. Okay. First, we can go with one examples and medium level and then hard level. So here the next question. Here the question is, A and B can do a work in 20 and 30 days respectively. If both of them working along, how long will they take to finish the job? This is the question. Okay. So the thing is, we have to identify how long, if both of the people are working together, how long they will take to finish their job. This is our question. Okay. A and B can do a work in 20 and 30 days respectively. If both of them working along, how long they will take to finish the job. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Try to complete the question. You can use the command box to send the answers. Okay. Okay. So I will recall you in this question, okay? So the thing is, A and B can do a work in 20 and 30 days respectively. If both of them working along, how long will they take to finish the job? This is our first question. So it is very easy. We already know the concept of using the method too, right? So what we have to do is, first thing we have to identify how much of work that A can do in one day and how much of work B can do in one day. That is the first thing that we have to identify. Before identifying the first one, before identifying the efficiency of each person, we have to identify the total work. So the total work is mandatory to identify. Why? Because then only I can identify the efficiency of A and B. Okay. So here I having 20 and 30 as a value. So A can complete a work in 20 days. At the same work will be completed by B. He will take 30 days only, right? So A will complete the work in 20 days. B will complete the same work in 30 days. So what we are going to do is, in this question, we are going to identify the total work is the first method. Okay. To identify the total work, what we have to do is, we have to identify the LCM of these two values. That LCM will be equal to the total work. Why? Because they are taking 20 and 30 days for one work, right? One unit of work. So from this point of view, I have to identify the LCM. So for 20 and 30, we already know that to identify the LCM, we have to use LCM method in a fraction value. I mean in a ratio value. So we can ignore the zeros and then we can directly multiply the values, right? So it will be 2 times and it will be 3 times. So if I cross multiply the value, the 20 and 3, right? So 20 and 3, so 20 and 30, we have to identify the LCM. If I cross multiply the value, I'll get 60 as the answer. So for the LCM of 20 and 30, I got the value as 60, right? So in this point of view, I can understand one thing, that is the total work is 60 units. So from this one, I can identify what is the efficiency of A and what is the efficiency of B as well. Okay. So A's efficiency, A can complete 60 units in 20 days, right? So he will complete 3 units per day. For one day, he can complete 3 units. So let me go with B. So B can complete same 60 units in how many days? It is 30, right? It is mentioned there. So that is 30 days is equal to, if I cancel out the value, 60 by 30 will get the answer as 2 units per day. So that means we know that. So we have to identify if both of them working together, A plus B, both of them working together, how long they will take to complete the work, right? If both of them working together in one day, how much of work will completed? So we know that 3 will completed by A, 2 will completed by B in one day. So that means 5 units will be completed in one day, right? So both if A and B working together, they will complete 5 units in one day. That means totally I having 60 units. If they are completing 5 units in one day, totally I having 60 units, right? I have to identify how long they will take to complete the 60 units. So 60 units divided by 5. 5 units per day. If I divide the values, I'll get 15 as the answer here. No, I will get 12 as the answer. 1 minute. Yes, I'll get 12 as the answer. So that means I will take 12 days to complete the 16 units if they are completing 5 units in one day. So I'll show you the next question. Try to figure out the answer. Yes, Bharat and the another person saying the answer is 12. That is good. Identify the same question. It is considered to be a pipes and system concept. You have to use the pipes and system concept to solve the question. You can use the comment box to put the answers, okay? Okay. We'll solve this question. So here they are mentioning that there are three taps. That means we having one system, that is tank. In this tank, there are three taps are fitted together. Three taps. So from this point of view, we can understand they are mentioning that. So 10 minutes and 15 minutes. So P and Q can fill a cistern in 10 and 15 minutes respectively. So what they are referring is P and Q is the tap that is filling the cistern. So the another tap we having, that is R. So R only will empty the cistern. That means we can draw the cistern like this. So R will do only empty the cistern. So what we are going to do here is we have to identify if all the three taps are opened together. That means filling taps and emptying taps. Both the taps are opened together. How long it will take to, how much of time will the cistern be filled using these three taps? Okay. The same method we are going to approach here. Okay. What approach is nothing but we have to identify the total capacity of the tank. Previously we have identified that is total units, right? Total work. But here we are going to identify total capacity of the tank. To identify the total capacity, we have to identify the LCM of these three values that is mentioned in the question. That is 10 is to 15 is to 12. Usually we will use L method to solve the LCM, right? But here we will use ratio method to solve the question. Okay, it will be easier to identify the answer quickly. So 10 is to 15 is nothing but we can go with it is 2 times in 5 and it is 3 times in 5. 15, right? So if you do the cross multiplication, we'll get 30 as the answer, right? And the next one, I having 12 here. If I cancel this value in 3 table, it will be 10 times and it will be 4 times, right? In 3 table. So if I cancel it again, it will be 2 times and it will be 5 times. So if I cross multiple these value, I'll get 60 as the answer. So I can understand for the 10, 15 and 12, I got the LCM as 60. So that means I can understand one thing. The total capacity of the tank will be, the total capacity of the tank will be 60 liters. So for to fill the 60 liters, if the three taps are opened together, how long it will take to fill the system? That is the question. So we have to identify efficiency of each tap. That means, so P can fill 60 liter in 10 minutes, right? If I cancel this value, I can understand 6 liter per minute. So P will fill for 1 minute, it will fill 6 liters. At the same for, we have to identify 1 minute efficiency for Q. So that means Q can fill the same 60 liter in 15 minutes. That means Q can fill 4 liters per minute. And then we have to identify for same R. So for R, we know that for R it is an emptying tap, right? So emptying tap in the sense we have to use the negative signature. Why? Because it is emptying, it is reducing the water from the tank. So we have to use the negative signature, okay? So the same 60 liter will be emptied in 12 minutes. That means for 1 minute, it will empty 5 liter. For 1 minute, it will empty 5 liter. That means we have to do if all the three taps are open together, that means filling tap plus emptying tap. If all the three taps are opened together, I can understand that if I sum the 6 and 4, I'll get if all the three taps are opened together for 1 minute, it will fill 5 liters, right? So what we are going to do here is for 60 liters, how long it will take to fill the cistern? We know that for 1 minute it will fill 5 liters, right? If I divide the value, I'll get, so 60 liter divided by 5 liter per minute, the same 12 minutes as an answer. Okay, I hope this is understood for everyone. Shall I go over the next question? First, we'll solve some easiest question and then we can go with the moderate one. After that, we'll go and solve the hardest level. Okay, we'll go one by one. Then you can recall all the concept each method as well. Okay. So am I audible right now? Okay, we'll solve this question. So here they are mentioning that a cistern generally takes a cistern generally takes 20 minutes to be filled by a pipe. But due to a leak, it takes 10 minutes extra to get filled. Find the time in which the leak alone can empty the cistern filled with water. So first thing, I have one tank and it have fitted with one tap that is filled by 20 minutes. So it is a filling tap, it can filled by 20 minutes. But I having a leak here. So due to this leak, it takes extra 10 minutes to fill the tank. So usually for filling the tap, it takes 20 minutes, right? But due to leakage, let me consider this filling tap as, okay, let me consider this filling tap as A and the emptying thing is considered to be B. Okay, let me consider two values A and B to for the clarification. For the clarification, we can go with these values, okay? A and B. So what we are going to do is a inlet pipe. Inlet pipe is A. Let me consider the inlet pipe is A and due to a leak, due to a
due to a leak, it takes extra 10 minutes. So that means I'm going to consider this as a due to a leakage, it takes extra 10 minutes. That means the filling tap is also happening. This leakage is also happening, right? So because of the filling and the leakages or both are happening, it takes extra 10 minutes to fill the system. That means I can understand the if both the taps, I mean, let me consider this leakage as a tab, okay? If both the taps are opened together. So if both the taps are opened together, it will take 30 minutes to fill the system, right? So if only the filling tap without the leakage, if the only filling tap is happening without the leakage, it will take only 20 minutes to fill the entire system. But due to the leakage, it will take extra 10 minutes. That means A plus B. So let me consider this leakage is a B. Due to a leakage, it takes extra 10 minutes. That means A plus B, it will takes 30 minutes to fill the system. So finally I can understand, I have to identify the LCM, right? So I have to identify the LCM of these two values, that is 20 and 30. So for 20 and 30, I can understand one thing. So if I take the LCM, then I can identify the total capacity of that tank. So if I take the LCM of 20 and 30, it will be 60. We already identified it, right? So it will be 2 times and it will be 3 times for the 10. If I cross multiply it, I will get 60 as answer. So the total capacity of the tank is nothing but 60 liters. The total capacity of the tank is nothing but it is a 60 liters. From that I can identify, they are asking, find the time in which the leak alone, if only the leak alone is happening, if only the leak alone is happening, how long it will take to empty the system. That is my question, right? What we are going to identify is, we are going to identify the leakage efficiency, only leak alone efficiency. So tap A, that is filling tap can fill the 60 liter in 20 minutes. That means it will fill 3 liter per minute. But filling plus emptying tap, that means A is inlet pipe, that is filling tap, B is leakage, that is emptying tap. If both are happening, 60 liter will be filled by 30 minutes only. So that means I can understand it will fill. Both the taps are opened together. That means both leakage and filling are happening together. It will only fill 2 liter per minute. But in this question, I am not supposed to identify how long the system going to fill. But here I am going to identify how long will the leak alone take to empty the entire system. That is how we are going to identify here. So we have to identify the B only. Okay. So we know that A will be a filling tap. If I remove the A, I can identify the B, right? That means if I subtract these two value, I'll get B as answer. Because in this two value, I having B as answer here, and also I having A. If I remove those A's, I can get B as answer. So if I subtract these value, I'll get 1 liter per minute. But it is a B is a leakage tap, right? B is a leakage tap, right? So for 1 minute, it will leak 1 liter. That means I have total liter of the tank is nothing but 60, right? The total liter of the tank is 60. For 60 liters, it will take 60 minutes, 60 minutes to leak the system. I mean to empty the system. I hope you understood this question. I'll go over the next one. If you have any doubts, just let me know in the comment box. Okay? You can use the live chat. Try to complete the question. So in this question, what we are going to do is, first thing, we have to modify the formula. Okay. So why we have to modify the formula? So because I am only having they are mentioning MS has provision for 360 men for 70 days. That means 360 men will work for 70 days. Okay. But if the number of men increases by 90, if number of men increases by 90, for how many days will the provisions last? That is my question. Okay. So number of men increases by 90 means from 360, from the value 360, it is increased by 90. That means after the second statement, this will be our first statement. The second statement will be 450, because 360 plus 90 will give you 450 as the answer, right? So for 450 members, how long they will take the provision? So how many days will the provision last? This is the one that I have to identify. What we are going to do is we are going to modify the formula. So N1 is nothing but it is a number of people, number of men. Days, we know the days, that is day 1. And then we don't have the hours here. We don't want to use, you don't want to use any hours in this question. So we don't want to use the use the value in this formula. Okay. So divided by work 1. So we know the work here, right? So did they mention any work in this question? No. So we can ignore the work as well, and also we can ignore the hours as well. If I ignore the hours and week, the modified formula will be N1 into D1 is equal to N2 into D2, right? So N1 into D1, that means for N1, I having 360 men for the first statement, into I having days as 70, right? For N2, I having 450 men, and the D2 will be, I have to identify the D2 in this question. So if I simplify this value, I'll get the answer. I'll give you 1 minute time. Try to figure out the answer for this one. Okay. If you divide this value, you'll get the day 2 as 56. I'll go with the next one. I hope everyone know this session is for only 1 hour from 6 to 7, and I hope everyone know how important the classes are, how important the session is. Why? Because definitely you guys will forget the concepts, how to solve and how to approach the questions. So once you attend these sessions, it will be helpful for your placement as well. Okay, kindly consider this one and make everyone to join the session in the next. Okay, for tomorrow we'll be having the same a session, but with different topics and different approaches. Okay, I hope so. The people only be having some people only, right? So those people, please let us know others and make them to join the session. Okay, try this question. Don't use any AI apps like ChatGPT or Google. Solve it by yourself. Approach the method. What method it will be suitable. Use that method. Okay. Okay. So I'll tell you the question because we are running out of time. We are running out of time, so we have to complete the question one by one. Okay. So just listen this one. So I having 12 boys plus 16 girls. 12 boys and 16 girls. They are taking 10 days to complete the work. We know the formula, that is to identify the total work or to identify the man days, we will equalate the values, right? The previously we identified one formula, that is N1 and D1 as a formula, right? So here also we are going to identify the same formula, that is N1 into D1 is equal to N2 into D2. Why we are using a D2 as a value here? Because I having three statement in this question, but previously I'll having only two statements, right? But here we'll be having three statements. So the first statement is 12 boys and 16 girls. The second statement is 13 boys and 24 girls. So for these statement, I know that these girls are and boys working together, they will complete the work in 10 days and 8 days respectively, right? But what we are going to do is, I can take any one of this statement from the second statement and the first statement. I can take any one of the statement to match these two values. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, for the N1 and D1, it will represent the statement 1. The N2 and D2 will represent the statement 2. So the first thing what we are going to do is N1 into D1, right? So that means I'm going to take the statement 1, that is 12 boys and 16 girls into days, that is 10, equal to N2 into D2. So the N2 into D2 will be not a statement 2. Why? Because I'm taking any one of the statement. So that means I can change this as a statement 3. So statement 3 is nothing but the finding value, that is 15 boys. If 15 boys plus 20 girls. Okay. For the 15 boys and 20 girls, how long they will take to complete the work? If both of them are boys and girls are to working together, how long they will take to complete the days? So let me consider D as a days. So if I have to simplify the values, right? If I simplify the values, I have to identify the boys and girls count. I can multiply the values, that is 120 boys plus 160 girls. If I multiply the 10 into these values, is equal to 15 and 20 girls. We having D as a value, right? Let me consider D here. So that is 15 boys plus 20 girl as a value. And we having D here as well. So let me consider into D. So what we are going to do is we are taking all the values in a B. If I'm taking the B, boys is one side, girls is a one side. Okay, let me consider. So just remove the D here. If I consider this value, I having 120 plus 15 boys. I'll get 135 boys is equal to 160 girls, and here I having 20, that means 180 girls. So what I have to do is I'm going to take the value as B by G. If I'm taking the B by G means 180 by 135. Identify the ratio for these two values. Okay. I'll explain this question again. I hope I'm audible right now. So because my audio was too low, I'm not audible to everyone, right? So I'll explain this question again because it is very important, and these type of question they will ask in the aptitude. Okay. So the first thing, 12 boys plus 16 girls, 12 boys and 16 girls are working together, and if they work together they will complete the work in 10 days. So what I'm going to do is I am going to multiply the 10, because we know the formula, that is we already saw that one, that is n1 into d1 is equal to n2 into d2. So we are going to substitute the value. Okay, let me consider. So the previously I said we are going to take the value. So the previously I said we are going to take the value. The first statement is 1 and the second last statement is 2, right? So we are going to multiply the values for n and 1. n1 into d1 is equal to n2 into d2. So what we are going to do here is, for 12 boys plus 16 girls, they will complete the work in 10 days is equal to the value if 13 boys plus 24 girls do the same work, but they will take only 8 days to complete the work. That means n1 into d1, that is 1. Okay, so in the n1 into d1, for n1 the both boys and girls will be combined in the n1, same as both girls and boys will be combined in the n2 as well. If I multiple the value, what I will get, I'll get 120 boys plus 160 girls. So if you multiple the same value in this place, if you multiple the same value in this place, 8 into 13 will give you 104 as answer. So 104 boys plus 124 into 8 will give you 192 girls. Okay, so in this value what we are going to do is we are going to take boys as one side and girls as one other side. Okay, if I'm taking the boys as one side and girls as another side, I'm having the value 104 boys, right? And here I having the value as 120. So if I subtract the value, if the pluses comes in this side, it will be minus, then it will be 16 boys. If 160 goes this side, then the remaining will be 32 girls. That means I can understand from boy and girl, if the 16 will comes this side, then 32 divided by girl, that is 16. If I cancel this value, I'll get 2 by 1. That means for boys and girl, it will be 2:1 ratio. So what we are going to do now is we are going to apply the ratio. We are going to apply the ratio in any one of the formation. So we can take statement 2 or statement 1. So I'm going to take the statement 1, that is 12 boys plus 16 girls into 10 days, right? So if I substitute the value, if I substitute the boys and girls inside the D and the 16, it will be 12 into 2. So I'm going to use the ratio in boy plus 16 into 1 will give you 16 as answer. Okay, into 1 and the whole value I having 10 here, that is 10. Okay. So the next thing what they are mentioning is find the time taken by 15 boys and 20 girls to do the same work. Okay. So from this point of view, what we can identify this. So if I multiple the two values, if I multiple the value, I'll get 24, 24 boys plus 16. It will give you into 10, right? So the totally it will give you. So here I having 10 days. If I multiple the boys inside, then I can say it will be 20 times, right? So because the days here is mentioned as 10, but I'm using the boys efficiency and the girls efficiency and making them into a 20 days. If I cancel this value, I'll get 400 as a total work. So totally I having 400 as a total work. So now I can use the 400 value into the same thing, how long they will take to complete the remaining work. Okay. So what we are going to do here is totally I having 15 boys, right? So 15 boys in the sense I can multiple with the 2 for boys and I having plus and I having as well 20 girls. So 20 girls into 1 will give you 20 as answer. I don't know the days here. Let me consider D as a day in this place is equal to 400. They are doing the same work, right? That is 400 units. Okay. So what we are going to do is 15 into 2 will give you 30 plus 20 and D. So I can understand if I simplify this value, it will be 50 is equal to 400 units. Then the days will be 8 days. I hope everyone clear in this question. So the tomorrow the same time the class will happening. So from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. only for 1 hour. We'll revise the concept. This is a reviver session, right? We have to revise all the concepts that is important in aptitude. So mostly in every company, the time and work is most important one, because in every company they will ask, we can accept we can accept this question. So we can accept this question from the aptitude. So what we are going to do here is we have to solve every question and we have to approach in a simpler way, so that will be easier to solve the question. Okay. Do you have any doubts in the session? Shaktivel, may I know what you are mentioning as no? Because the class will end now. The session is only for 1 hour, 400 rupees. Yeah, good. So the answer is 400 rupees in the previous question. Okay. Do you have any doubts? The people who are in the session, who are attend the session, is anyone having any doubts? Okay. Thank you for your answers. Okay, you can we can end up the session, wind up the session. So kindly join the next session as well, and make your friends to join the session. Okay, it will helpful for them as well. Thank you.